Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bookmakers Reviews coverage of a gripping Bundesliga season. Bayern Munich are just 1 point clear of Borussia Dortmund after both teams picked up impressive victories last weekend. Bayern's perhaps not quite as impressive, narrow victory over Arminia, but well done to Dortmund for beating Wolfsburg 3-1 on the road. And Erling Haaland came back and got on the score sheet, so what a boost that was. But yeah, there's lots of interesting battles going on up and down the table. So looking forward to this weekend's fixtures, Matt. How are you seeing the Bundesliga? Just lots of goals and entertainment, really, isn't it?
Well, last week we were really successful. 4-0 last week for me, and I think that you were really strong as well because I know we had some of the plays that were very similar. So it was a very strong Bundesliga last week, and let's hope that that kind of streak can continue.
Indeed. Well, we're going to kick things straight off with Union Berlin coming up against RB Leipzig. Things ain't been going great for RB Leipzig recently. Union are a decent team at home. What's your take on this one, Matt?
Very interesting match here. So this is one that I like a couple bets in because I couldn't really decipher which one was best. And so, like the last time that these two teams met, Union got the victory. I think that Leipzig are extremely Jekyll and Hyde. They get beat 3-1 very comfortably against Leverkusen last week. And, we had both teams to score in over 2.5 in that one, which cashed. But, then they beat Bruges 5-0 in the Champions League. It's just I cannot make out what this team's going to do. They're very inconsistent. I think the Union are pretty consistent, though. I mean, they've scored a goal and at least one goal in their last 15 matches in all comps. They are pretty tough to be beat at home. I mean, no losses for Union in 24 of the last 27 home matches. I mean, they're a tough nut to crack at home, and that's where I'm going here. I'm going with Berlin, double chance at -105. I don't think that they get beat here at home. I was tempted by the +300, to be fair. I thought that was too big of a price, really. I think that they could definitely beat Leipzig here. And then I've also sided with goals here. I've sided with the underdog and goals because I always still think that Leipzig games generally tend to be a little bit more higher scoring. And I mean, when you're looking at some of the most recent matches for both of these teams, a lot of those have gone over the 2.5. So yeah, for me here, it's two bets: Union Berlin double chance and over 2.5 goals in the match.
Great, like it, Matt. Yeah, Union Berlin have only lost once at home all season, and then a terrific home record last season as well. So that looks like an astute play. Shout out to Edward Boothman and Jonathan Nelson on the chat. Great to have you both here. Thank you for joining us. Jonathan's going for over 2.5 goals as well. So you guys are singing from the same hymn sheet on that one, which we like to hear. Next up, we have Hoffenheim versus Eintracht Frankfurt. This should be a very entertaining game. Both teams to score has paid off in 10 out of Eintracht's 13 games so far this season. And Hoffenheim are another really high-scoring team, as we saw by them thrashing Furth 6-3 last weekend. They've scored the third highest goals tally in the Bundesliga behind only Bayern and Dortmund, but they've also conceded more goals than any team in the top half of the table. So this game just screams goals to me. I'm going both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. It's the artist formerly known as Alex Classic. What's your take on this one, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, minus 125 in that range on something like this. You've talked me into it a little bit, Martin. I think that was a great breakdown. And the last three head-to-heads between the two have seen both teams to score an over 2.5. These teams are generally involved in those type of matches. And, yeah, I mean, Hoffenheim throwing up 6 last week against Furth was nice for our bets. And yeah, Frankfurt, yeah, I mean, their last two matches, I've seen these type of games. I mean, really, yeah, 4 of the last 5 I've seen both teams score in over 2.5 in all comps for Frankfurt. So, yeah, I would be singing from the same song here. I could not go any other way. I don't really have a strong feel on who wins the match.
Oh yeah, I think I agree. Goals is definitely the way to go. Eintracht have won 3 in a row, so I don't want to be betting against them right now. But Hoffenheim have been in great form too, 5th in the table. So yeah, I'm hoping for an open and entertaining game between these two talented teams. Next up, we have Augsburg versus Bochum. And Augsburg are in that kind of relegation playoff place that they have in the Bundesliga. So not a great season for them, but they've only lost 1 of their last 4, and they're not bad at home. Bochum, on the other hand, while they're a few points clear of Augsburg in the table, they actually have a dreadful away record. 6 out of 7 games on the road have resulted in defeats. Only 3 goals on the road and 16 conceded. So this does look like a game that Augsburg really should be winning. I'm just not sure if I can trust them. What about you, Matt? Can you trust Augsburg in this one?
I could probably trust them in a parlay, maybe in the draw no bet market, maybe even just a straight draw no bet at minus 140, minus 145 in that range. Like you mentioned, I mean, Bochum, their only victory from their last 6 road matches is against Furth. Who would have thought?
And we don't even count that, do we? Everyone beats Furth.
No, you really can't. You have to throw it out. I mean, they were more competitive on the road last time against Leverkusen, only losing 1-0. So they probably covered an Asian handicap there. But really, yeah, no, they did pick up a nice victory last week, though, against Freiburg. I don't think a lot of people really saw that coming. And yeah, for me here, it would have to be the home team. I mean, still beating Bayern Munich. I thought that Augsburg last week were going to be a really trendy underdog, and it looked like they were going to go down 2-0 to Hertha. I think there was some VAR involved, and then they scrap out like a last minute, 93rd minute equalizer, and if you had them on the draw double chance, you cashed. So yeah, they were a trendy underdog that ended up coming in. And so I think that they can build off of that. I mean, it's always great to get that last minute equalizer on the road. You beat Bayern. I think that draw no bet here is extremely safe. It wasn't one of my top selections here, but yeah, I think that it would be Augsburg or pass for me.
Like it, yeah, I'm Augsburg or pass through Augsburg. I like them too. I think they get a result here. Maybe just a little small stake, I think, on Augsburg to win it because, yeah, Bochum's travelled terribly, and Augsburg are quite solid at home. They're a better team than I think their league position would suggest. Yeah, we're going to get to Freiburg later, but what's happened to Freiburg? Their season is just falling apart at the seams. Anyway, we're coming up to my favourite team. I hope they're everyone's favourite team now. I hope you've all been betting against them week in, week out this season because it's Greater Furth, the legendary Greater Furth against Bayer Leverkusen. And, oh my God, fading Greater Furth has just been the best thing I think I've ever done as a gambler. Every week they come up and every week they get absolutely battered, Matt. I think the sportsbooks are finally starting to cotton on a little bit because the Asian handicap line is getting a bit trickier. But I still think Bayer Leverkusen should be pretty comfortable against Furth in this game. What do you reckon?
I mean, a negative 28 goal differential for this season. I mean, that is, yeah, it's a match made in heaven right now, Martin, to find a way to fade this side. I mean, when you're looking at it, it's amazing though. I mean, they still have the books have this priced out as a both teams to score type of match. They think that Furth can contribute to the score sheet. I was looking at Leverkusen team total over 2.5 minus 143. I mean, I think that in an accumulator, you have to include Leverkusen. I don't care that it's minus 450. They need to go into your accumulators in some way, shape, or form, with maybe some other top sides in other leagues or something. I wouldn't even this is one of those, I wouldn't hate anyone for laying it. But I've just gone with, look, they're conceding a ton of goals. They've conceded 39 this season. And it's just insane. So I've gone with, it's not the greatest odds, but I think it's banker type of material. Leverkusen to score in both halves. It's at, around the -150, -155, -160 range. I just don't care. I'm just going to find a way to get involved in teams scoring goals against Furth.
Yeah, I did put Furth in a parlay actually earlier today, but I just went for Bayer Leverkusen -1.5 in that parlay.
Yes,
probably
I've got one of those too. I've got a Leverkusen -1 in a parlay here for this league, so that's also a play of mine too.
Yeah, no, I think that looks great. What have I gone for in this one? I'm just giving them a. Let's have a look. What did I go for? I went for Bayer Leverkusen -1.75, -118. That's kind of what they're pushing it to now, and I think they cover it. Patrick Schick's back for Bayer Leverkusen. One of the best strikers in the world for me, was absolutely electric during the Euros. Florian Wirtz has just been phenomenal. Bayer Leverkusen third in the table, and deservedly so. They've been brilliant this season. Home record's not great, but I'm not really that bothered. Furth are just terrible. They concede 3 goals per game, and yeah, they might score 1 in this. I can't see them. I can't see the margin being any lower than 2. So if it's -1.75 and they win by 2 goals, I get a half profit. Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, I think just keep fading Furth. Everyone just keep fading Furth. That's Jonathan Nelson saying that as well. Yeah, keep fading Furth. Okay, next up, we're going to move on to Arminia Bielefeld coming up against Cologne. Oh, Matt, this is a tough one because Cologne are a fantastic team. Score loads of goals. They're great to watch. Arminia, polar opposite, boring, defensive, cautious, cagey. Which style do you think comes out on top in this one?
Oh, this is a tough one for me. I mean, it was an easy pass. I know that, but yeah, I mean, Cologne are just they're in a bad not really a bad away form, but they're just a team that's tough to trust fully on the road. They've only won 1 of their last 7 away matches in all comps. So that was against Stuttgart and Bielefeld. Though I mean they don't win at home either. It would have to be looking at Cologne at some way, shape, or form. Maybe you could get involved in like a team total, maybe over 1.5, and just stay away from the outrights completely. Just bet on, okay, I know that Cologne has a good offense. I mean, look at some of the last few times they've come up against them. They scored 3. Then they laid a goose egg and scored 0. But then 2 seasons ago, 5 and 3. So 11 goals in the last 4 appearances against Arminia. So that might be something that you can really take a look at. A team total, maybe you look at Cologne and over 1.5, something like that. That's where I would be going.
I like that. Laid a goose egg. Don't really have that phrase. When do you use laid? Teach me to use it in context. When should I say laid a goose egg?
It's always been a funny one when someone like on a basketball team, for instance, like doesn't score. Oh, he had a goose egg. Like he didn't score the entire game. Like stuff like that to like pick on somebody. I know back in the day we used to always say that. But yeah, no, that's probably one of the only times. And yeah, so it's getting brought out here.
I love that. We laid a goose egg. Yeah, it's not like English football. It's like he's had a fucking nightmare. It's much more polite. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I guess if you really had to bet on this one, if you can't split them, maybe you just go for a draw, because Arminia are winless at home, Cologne are winless on the road. Go for
something's got to give.
It's got to give, yeah. But I don't like it because, like I said, just a real clash of styles, 2 very different teams. Not sure how that one's going to pan out. Coming up next, we've got Mainz up against Wolfsburg. Mainz against Wolfsburg, Matt. What's your take on this one?
Just both teams to score. I'm just going to continue to ride this Mainz team. Really, they're getting involved in both teams to score matches. Their last 8 have seen BTTS land. Wolfsburg are on a rough away form right now. I mean, they have really struggled on the road. It looks like they haven't really. They beat Bayer, but other than that, I mean, they normally get beat on the road. But I trust them to be able to score right now. And I mean, when you're looking at these Mainz home matches too, all the last 5 have seen BTTS land. The last head-to-head was a 3-2 thriller. So, yeah, I do think that both teams are good enough, have enough quality to find the back of the net here. And, at minus 125 on BTTS, yeah, I was kind of shocked to see it at that price. I would have put it a little bit higher.
Yeah, I guess it's just because Wolfsburg are a bit cagey, aren't they? But they've got a new manager now, and they seem to be evolving their style. So, yeah, I could see that. Maybe 1-1, maybe 2-1 to a particular team. Sounds good. Okay, we are coming up to the big game of the weekend. As I said, Bayern Munich just 1 point clear of Borussia Dortmund at the top of the table. Bayern are bidding to win a 10th consecutive Bundesliga title this season. Massive odds-on favourite to do so. Dortmund appear to be the only team that can stop them. Dortmund have won all 7 home games so far, but they do not have a good record against Bayern Munich. Bayern have won 6 in a row against Dortmund. Bayern just dominate this fixture. I'm going for a Bayern win, Matt. What are you doing here?
I don't disagree with you. I didn't put it on my top selections, but I'm going to have a little bit of Bayern this weekend. I mean, like you mentioned, 6 in a row against Dortmund. This is like their little brother that they beat up on every single fight. And but I also think that this match has goals in it. I mean, how can you not? Look at how the books price this one out. And I've noticed that's the way they've been pricing this out ever since Erling Haaland's been in the side for Dortmund. It's like a minus 220, minus 225 on both teams to score and over 2.5. It just some of the highest odds, that you'll really see in Europe is when these two teams go head to head. And when you look at it, the last 4, that's come in as well. So I think when you look at trying to get the best value, it would be looking towards Bayern Munich and both teams to score. That's a really good price. And the last 4 meetings, that's how it's gone down. So I've combined Leverkusen against Furth, -1 on the Asian handicap for Leverkusen with both teams to score and over 2.5 here in a parlay that pays out -110. So that's where I'm going here. But I also think that Bayern win. I think that there's a lot of different ways to get involved in this one.
Okay. Sorry, say it again, Matt, because it's a bit of a tongue twister. Leg 1 of the parlay is...
So leg 1 of the parlay is Leverkusen. I'm fading Greta Furth. I've got him on -1 on the Asian handicap.
Okay, so Leverkusen -1 Asian handicap.
And it's combined with this one, both teams to score and over 2.5.
Okay, so you're parlaying a straight bet with a same game parlay at -110. Yep, I totally go with that. I can't see Leverkusen doing anything but thrashing Furth. And yeah, surely both teams to scoring over 2.5 goals has to come in this game. Both terrific in attack, both poor in defence. Haaland coming up against Lewandowski. It's going to be a great game. Couple of midfielders out for Bayern, Kimmich and Sabitzer. But, Dortmund have got their injury problems. Jude Bellingham's out, Gio Reyna's out, Torgan Hazard's out. I think Bayern will concede, but I just think they'll be far too strong for Dortmund going forward. I've just gone for a straight Bayern win. Probably do Bayern and over 1.5 or Bayern and over 2.5, something like that for a bit more value. Also quite like Lewandowski to score either first or last. I think you can get about +130 on that. He has 20 goals in 14 games against Dortmund, his former club. So I can see him coming to the fore once again in this one. Okay, that's the big game of the weekend, but there's still 2 more matches. we have Stuttgart coming up against Hertha Berlin. And Stuttgart aren't having a great season, really, are they, Matt? Languishing near the bottom of the table. Things are not looking great for this team. This is the Sunday game. Yeah, they've been in very poor form, but Hertha Berlin aren't setting the world alight either. It looked like you're doing a bit of a contortion there, I think.
Just stretching a little bit, just getting ready for this great clash of 14th and 15th. This is almost like a 6-pointer, Martin. This is like a 6-pointer, and Hertha have a negative 14 goal differential, but they're somehow ahead of Stuttgart, who only have a 5-goal differential, -5. So this one is something that I just don't want to get involved in. I don't trust either of these sides. I don't know whether this match is going to have goals in it or stay kind of tight. This was an easy swerve for me.
Easy swerve for me too. Yeah, straight pass. Next and final game of the weekend is Borussia Mönchengladbach coming up against Freiburg. And like I was saying, what the hell has happened to Freiburg? 6 wins and 4 draws from their opening 10 games of the season. And then they just go and lose 3 in a row. They still have the joint best defensive record in the league with Bayern Munich, would you believe it, who concede loads of goals, it seems. But, just 1 goal per game conceded. But they're not scoring anymore. And things are looking a bit bleak. Gladbach have a very strong home record over the past few years. So I'd be leaning towards Gladbach in this one. But at minus money, not sure I can justify it really, Matt. Did you go for anything in this one?
I didn't. I'm right there with you. Like, I don't want to get involved with Gladbach at minus money here. I still believe in this Freiburg defense. I mean, they lost 2-1 against Bayern. You can throw that one out the window. They lost 2-0 to Frankfurt, which is not, we know that Frankfurt are in a good way right now. And I kind of throw that one out the window. Last week, the 2-1 defeat against Bochum on the road was a bit of a concern, but it was a road match. And I mean, here they come again with another road match. But I would be looking probably towards trying to get some type of bigger price involved, like maybe get on the draw here. I really don't trust Gladbach right now. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. You don't really know what you're going to get, but they are very strong at home. I mean, look at their home form right now. It's 16 points in their last 6 home matches. I mean, they are collecting points. So maybe they do deserve to be minus money, Martin. It's a tough one to peel back the onion, really. But for me here, it was just a stay away. I don't want to get involved in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they are just really strong at home, Gladbach. This has been a trend for years now. And the team hasn't really changed that much for Gladbach. They haven't lost any key players. They haven't really bought anyone. It's the same team that's been solid at Borussia Park for years. Maybe I'm talking myself into it, because Freiburg, I've been underwhelmed. Maybe Borussia Mönchengladbach at under 4.5 goals. I'd be looking at that for a bit more value. But as I say, didn't put it in my official plays. Can Freiburg really lose 4 in a row? Who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out this weekend. Okay, Mr. Wizard, please can we have the picks? We'll read them out. Okay, I've got Bayer Leverkusen minus 1.75, odds of minus 118, fading Furth. Best pastime of the season. Hoffenheim, Eintracht Frankfurt, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 120, and a straight win for Bayern Munich at minus 114. That's it for me. Just 3 picks. What you got, Matt?
Fading Furth for me as well in a different way. Leverkusen to get on the score sheet in both halves. I think that the price isn't fantastic, but I almost think it's banker material. Martin, I would be shocked if Furth keep a clean sheet in either half. I would be shocked. Union draw double chance at home against Leipzig, and then I've gone with the over 2.5 goals in the same game. This is the Friday match, so tomorrow hopefully it's a bit exciting and we can get a strong performance from the home team. Mainz last 8 matches have seen both teams to score. That's where I'm going there against Wolfsburg at -125. And then the parlay is it's like a double fade. I'm getting involved in this Furth game as well. I've got Leverkusen -1 on the Asian handicap. And then I've gone with both teams to score and over 2.5 and Dortmund Bayer. If your book can't get that, maybe you just take a straight over 2.5 and then Leverkusen -1. But yeah, just finding a way to get involved in those two seems really like a good play for me.
Okay, great. Thanks, Matt. Thank you for the wizard for that. Just looking at the chat here. Hello to Vivica Crystal. Says, any banker of the day? Do you know what? Most of my bets were yesterday and the day before. Had a good week, actually. Good midweek picks. But for today, I've gone with Arsenal. I went with Arsenal draw double chance, which may be crazy, but I got -110 on that earlier this week. Arsenal haven't lost to Man United since 2018 in the league. They've only lost once in their last, I think, 12 games in all competitions. That was to Liverpool, but Liverpool also destroyed Man United. So don't read too much into that. I think they can get a result there. Matt, you were telling me before the show you think Brentford against Tottenham maybe.
Yeah, I do like the away side there. They've been really strong on the road, and they don't really get beat by a margin. So I would be shocked if Tottenham won that by 2 clear goals. I really would. I think that when you're looking at the goal differential on the road or just in general, it's like 9-8. They've scored 9, allowed 8 goals this season. So like they're just not really getting blown away. They get stuck in on the road, as we like to say, and I think that they will get stuck in here. And I just don't see them getting beat by 2. So I think that the +1 feels extremely safe. I got it at around -130. Yeah, I like that today.
Okay, great. Thanks, Matt. Thank you to everyone watching. Oh, Irish John's going under 2.5 goals. Yeah, it could be a pretty cagey game, couldn't it? Just hoping for another.
Come on, Arsenal. Come on. Get stuck in.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, everyone. Hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back tomorrow with the Premier League. We're going to be talking about Tottenham Norwich, among other games, and the La Liga Primera. So we've got all that to look forward to. But yeah, hope you all have a great night. Hope Arsenal win, and we'll see you soon. Take care, guys.